So this question relates to not turning our dive computers off between dives. So it's just like you're all coming on the sandbox into Thailand. You've all got the Machana app.
Yes.
They do advise not to turn that Machana off and to have it track your location throughout Thailand for safety and also for back tracing in COVID. Similar to diving, in between diving, we need to keep our computers on to track our residual nitrogen. This is done on our surface interval as our residual nitrogen lessens in our bodies, so then we can dive again. So tomorrow at Ratchayai on dive 1 and 2, between dive 1 and 2, you'll need to monitor your dive computer on your surface interval, so then we can quickly jump back into the water after our surface interval is complete, and then we can continue dive 2, so then we can have good time on dive 3 as well. Same again, between dives, we monitor our computer to make sure that our surface interval is adequate for our residual nitrogen to lessen, so we can do a full dive. So, the question is, I should not turn off my dive computer between dives because... So, just thinking about that, guys, when I was very early days in my diving career, I had a D5, and the battery was a little bit flat. I didn't check it between my dives. The dive computer turned off, or my surface interval. I didn't have a spare, so I had to sit in dive jail. I couldn't dive again without a computer. I don't want this happening to you guys, so I need you guys to check your computers while you're on your surface interval, so that we can have a fun and full day diving as well with safety. So tomorrow, Ratchayai, between dive 1 and 2, I will ask you guys what your surface interval is, so we can monitor that through your dive computer. So after this course, we have an advanced course running. The advanced course is consistent with 5 dives. It's got 3 adventure dives and 2 skill dives in it. One of the skill dives is a deep dive, navigation dive, and a deep dive. So between the dives on the adventure dive, you'll need to continue to monitor your surface interval, so then we can continue and fulfill the course requirements. So the advanced course dive program is on the PADI app. We all have our PADI app on the phone.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's found in the learning section, your courses. PADI's a bit slow, I do apologise. And we go to the Advanced Open Water Diver. We have all the e-learning and then all the information there as well. So the advanced course will enhance your skills that you have acquired already in your open water course. It's a very, very fulfilling course. You'll learn a lot about peak performance buoyancy, do some navigation, and then you can choose some adventure dives as well. This is my dive computer. It's an oceanic dive computer, and it's got dive modes set to it. So once I descend, you can have a look at that, Ben, if you wish. The dive mode is by holding these 2 buttons in. If you're at the surface, and it will go to your log, it will go to your last dive, it will account for all your diving that you've done. You can even do enrich the air with that one as well. That's actuated by descending past 1 meter. It will go automatically into dive mode, and then that will track your dive. And then when you resurface and come up, once you're on your surface interval, it will actually count your surface interval as well. So while you're eating lunch on the boat tomorrow, guys, you can monitor your surface interval. And then with our dive plan, we understand that we have a 50-minute surface interval between dives, and you can see when 50 minutes is up, or 40 minutes is up, the bell will go on the boat, and it's time to get back into our gear so we can be first in the water again. Jeff, what I'll do is I'll get you to read from page 202, and there's just a quick paragraph. 202, start dive computer, turning it off. Yep.
Most modern computers also won't let you start diving with them if the battery power is too low. See the manufacturer literature website and or your instructor about powering off, sleep mode, and battery replacement for your computer should it become necessary. Batteries usually last a year or more. Keep going.
Yep, next sentence on that.
When the computer calculates the nitrogen levels have returned to normal. When the computer calculates that nitrogen levels have returned to normal, it will turn itself off or go to sleep. Many dive computers, particularly those that are also watches, never turn off or go to sleep. This is normal. See your instructor if you have questions about the specifics of your dive computer.
Perfect, thank you, Jeff. Okay, so I should not turn off a dive computer between dives because, and if I can get you to read out that.
I will use loose memory residual nitrogen.
Perfect, do we all understand that we get that?
Yep.
Okay, so the value of not turning your computer off between dives is so that we can safely dive, monitor our surface interval, so we lose our residual nitrogen, so we can dive again and have multiple dives on the one day, up to 3 training dives per day, and we don't want to cut that short. Don't forget, guys, about the advanced course after this. Please see Renee at the desk, and he'll be able to sign you up today. Also, don't forget about the dive computer as well. We have some dive computers outside, and I'll be happy to show you through some of those dive computers as well. Are there any final questions? Please sign and date your knowledge review.
Hold on. Pretty good. Make sure that you use the lesson guide because that can take care of pretty much all the teaching for you. Right? So show the video and click on the I button as well. You can sit down. But well done, well done. So remember the structure here on the platform, right? So if you look at the intro, have a seat. Yeah. So when you start, it's good that you do like that. And you say, guys, I corrected your quiz. The only question we struggled with was number 9. You want to read that out, blah, 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 and then you go. So let's have a think about that. And then you came in with a nice little contact story. That's cool. And you related that to diving, so that's excellent. Okay. But you're not doing any teaching yet. Wait with that. The intro is just to get them ready, right? Yeah. Because after your nice contact story, then you went into the story where you were low on batteries and you had to sit out to dive and all that. That's okay, but maybe wait with that one until you're done with the intro. Right? So after your contact story and the specific example of when we're going to practice this, like you did, then you have to say, so guys, before we figure out the answer, please open your book too. Right? But you used the book, but that was in the summary. So you got to remind us to tell us to open the book in the intro. Yes. So do that early on. Then it's there. And now you're done with the intro. So then we go, so guys, let's go back to the question. Andy, which one do you want? Okay. Which one did you answer? I couldn't see it. And
B.
He says, I had a B.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Then I go, well, that's interesting. Let's have a look here, guys. The correct answer is actually D. The computer will lose all memory of residual nitrogen. So let's see why you didn't pick that one then, perhaps, guys. Let's have a look here. You go like this, and you go, right, so the computer tracks, blah, 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 and then you go and you click this. You don't tell any stories yet. Then you simply go, let's see what our sponsor, Patty, has to say about this.
computer calculates your theoretical nitrogen levels continuously, so it is important that you use the same computer for all dives throughout the day. It remembers your residual nitrogen, so don't share or trade computers, and don't turn it off. Most models won't let you anyway. If you don't dive with the same computer continuously, it can't accurately calculate theoretical nitrogen. Diving without using the same computer for all dives greatly increases your risk of decompression sickness. And follow any additional manufacturer recommendations regarding the use of a computer for repetitive diving.
And then it goes back there. This pretty much takes care of the teaching part for you.
Yeah.
So now you just have to tell us some cool stories and do some sales, right? So then you would go, guys, this is interesting. I was on a dive trip a few years ago, and unfortunately, my computer was running low on batteries. The good thing is that it told me though, so it didn't actually allow me to continue diving. But the unfortunate thing is that, well, then you're going to lose out on dives unless you have a backup computer, right? Now, when we go to Raja tomorrow, we're going to go to Raja Yai, and we'll see, maybe you want to show some cool fish pictures, right? Or turtles or whatever. And then you say, oh, you want to spend time with these guys, don't you? That's why having a computer is so important, guys, because it will allow you to stay with the turtles for a little longer compared to if you were to use the old-fashioned tables, right? And so then you get, so that's a local dive story. And then you go, so obviously guys, on the way out to our dive site tomorrow, I'll show you the soup computers that you guys will be using. They're actually on your gauge, and we'll make sure that we can figure that out. Now I have this computer, and then you show yours, and you say, well, these are really cool because you can see they're also a watch. They look cooler, the chicks dig them, and it can even make coffee.
And
Right?
what's the answer?
I liked it already.
Everyone.
Everyone.
Yes.
That's what I thought. I just wondered if one was.
Yeah, we'll see here. When you click anywhere on the screen, that
ใช่ใช่ใช่เลยของผมไว้ตรงขวามือเลยโค้งพอดีเลยที่มันเขียนว่าบ้านวานิดาบอกว่าวีซ่าเขาจะเอาปลาหมึกจากน้องโทรไปสั่งเองบอกว่า
我的天，有这么多鱼吗？